Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, where we have figured out that the ratings Raja is indeed mysterious, as I somewhat predicted towards the end. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Everything broke between episodes, which seems like it should be impossible, but I think we're back up and running, so here we go. There's something uncanny about this case. Okay, what is it? Bing's alibi. It's too perfect. It's true. It's like it's impossible to break no matter how hard we try. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think. I'm not following. We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi. Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right? It's definitely a possibility.
Would the defense care to share with everyone what it's discussing over there?
Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak.
And what is this certain assumption you're thinking of?
This is one key assumption we've been taking for granted this whole time. Rayton's guilt. The culprit was on scene and the crime scene. I feel like where it's going is with the culprit was on scene. Because really the way things worked out, it almost seems like he wouldn't need to be. Right? I don't know though, because I'm trying to think. So our assumption is he got stabbed after everything played out. So Trucy used the rubber sword. And then he falls out. And then Dragon falls during all the confusion. Now that's when we think he really got stabbed. So would it, like, when I'm saying that he was on scene, does that mean on scene at the time that Trucy supposedly stabbed him? Or does he even need to have been there at all? But then how did he get stabbed after the fact? I think I'm going to go with the culprit was on scene because I can see how he might not need to be there. I just haven't quite pieced that together yet. What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was some way to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Rayton's perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Objection!
But how could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the footage.
Objection!
But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit? That's fair.
Well, if it's not the culprit, then whose is it?
Oh, I actually know that one. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor, during the magic show itself.
In that case, please point it out in the show footage for us.
This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of the culprit.
Take that! Mr. Justice, how does it remotely resemble this shadowy figure?
Wait. Oh. I thought it looks pretty similar. Do you not think so? Oops, shoot, I did it wrong.
Not in the slightest.
Huh? That's funny. It's pretty shady to me.
Your logic is even shadier.
It's not. Okay. Maybe I should try slowing the video down and taking a better look. I thought we were getting to like whose shadow it was. Okay. I get what I want. That makes probably more sense. Yeah, I skipped a step. Oh, wait, hold up. Ooh, I missed it. No! No, I pressed it! Ooh. God, that's so, like, I don't know if that would count, and I'm not willing to get this wrong again. This is a little clunky. Little clunky to... there we go. Okay.
Take that.
Does that count? Got it. Doesn't this shadow resemble the suspicious shadowy figure?
Now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it?
Miss Wright, could you identify the shadow for the court? I already tried to do that. Let's see. I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he's being pulled up from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire. Then couldn't this shadow that's shown later in the footage be Mr. Hat too? No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there. In other words, this second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up.
Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice.
He's right, we've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand.
What is the second shadow shown in the footage?
What? I don't understand. What is the second shadow shown from the footage? Is it him? I don't know what evidence I have that would necessarily help with that. We see where gloves during the show, so none of her fingerprints were found. Mysterious palm prints were reversed. See image, okay. Forward, stage lift 2. That's literally the only thing I have in all of the evidence that makes sense. I'm even more confused because he definitely has that thing on his back. So I could see him being pulled up. But then I feel like that has even more questions. I'm so confused now. I thought I had this. Okay. Second shadow. Alright, it's gotta be. I have nothing else that makes any sense. If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there's only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Rias. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery. When did they say his name? I know he referred to him as... His real name is Man of Mystery. I know Apollo referred to him... I must have missed the first time around.
The victim.
Please take a look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Oh, I was just looking at that. Isn't that right, Mr. Ratens?
Indeed, and what of it?
I contend that that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist. Yep, okay, got that. And was most likely attached to a stunt wire so that he could be pulled up into the air.
So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air just as the prank script says?
Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. Yeah, so the dragon falling down was like super important to setting this up. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true piece de resistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Oh, he's sweating a little. Don't tell me, you've got it all figured out? Yes, I think so. If we can just look beyond Mr. Rayton's last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk just like Mr. Hat, and hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. We just have to figure out what else happened up there at that time.
Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that?
Ooh, to falsify an alibi or to murder him? I think to murder, because there'd be no reason. There's no reason to have him fly up. Where's the prank scripts? After capturing a bit of true secret, Mr. Rios will come back to life laughing and flying up into the... Yeah, so that part was supposed to happen after everything. Yeah, okay. I think it's to murder him. Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how these two questions relate, the answer should become clear. B. Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just a part of a prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air, after Miss Wright was called backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or a blade of some sort. What? You mean... Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air. Oh! And straight into a blade there in the catwalk. I just thought of something! Oh, where's... Oh, I don't think we have anything of it. Shoot. Because remember, Mr. Hat's cape was ripped. So that makes sense. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick. What?
Remotely?
Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Raytons was at the time of death. Alright, he's sweating a little bit more. He doesn't seem happy. I think we're on the right track now.
But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice?
Just before the murder occurred, the dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. It and Mr. Man of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon set piece fall, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade in the cushion. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade. Oh, then that big gash in Mr. Hat's cape. The blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up to the cushion. I can't believe it. I had no idea. I was told that Juicy would freak out if I made that set piece fall. It's the only reason I did it. You were used, Betty. Roger Raytons used you. I thought he was my little puppet to boss around. It was the other way around. After the incident occurred, Mr. Raytons arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloodied steel one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage. How did he have time to do all that? When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all those things after the fact because there was no one around to see.
A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show. This sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off.
As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's why it was you, Mr. Ratens, who killed the victim, all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say murder plan, proves your murderous intent.
Grr. Ramari!
No. Stop getting in the way. Yeah, enough. You dim-witted, ignorant imbecilic. Putrid red pepper. You possibly have a counter-argument to make. About not knowing when to let it go and move on. Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Sadmati? No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory. But Mr. Ratens retrieved it after the fact. Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory. But without proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found, after all.
That is a very good point.
The only person who could have committed the crime there on stage. Really? Tracy Wright remains the prime suspect. It would appear that what you call truth is little more than cheap parlor tricks. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It is time to let it go and move on.
Oh, are you seeing this, magnifique Ramari? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. The Ramari name is done for.
Apollo, we need to hit them with some decisive piece of evidence here. I know, that's just what I was thinking.
Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you proposed?
Of course I do, Your Honor. This entire incident was carried out exactly according to the script. Right, so theoretically there should be no evidence for us to find or use, which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. Well, we do. There's gotta be something Ratens couldn't have foreseen. And once I find it, that's how I'll expose his murderous trick. Get ready, Mr. Ratens, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic. I know something. I know something. Ooh, as long as the magic show went as scripted, the murder would happen without fail. Everything in this case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. What part of the magic show wasn't part of the show's original script? Bonnie's mistake. Got it. I got it. Okay, so how does that help? Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. What mistake did Bonnie make during the trick? Her life choices. Oh, mood. Mr. Hat's positioning. Mr. Hat was placed in the wrong spot. Okay. Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left, Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the one in the show's script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater, which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Which part of the culprit's cover-up attempt was affected by Trucy's new position? Blood in the coffin hole. Edited show footage. Fingerprints on the coffin. It's the blood. Hold on. Prints on the coffin lid, Bonnie. Side panels, mysterious. Drace's palm prints are reversed. Okay. Back with sharp blade. The victim's real name is Man of Mystery. Ah, there it is. Okay, that's what I was looking for. There are traces of blood in one of the coffin's holes. It's possible the blood was placed there after the fact. Blood in the coffin holes. Ooh. The blood was on the wrong side of the coffin, too. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole. But the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer had originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have swapped the coffin sides. Oh, we can prove that. Culprit swapped the coffin sides. That's right. The left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstains fit the facts. But the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural. Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need. Sorry, Mr. Ratens, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt.
Another bluff, is it? There's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is real, no
No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion.
What?
After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Ratens tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place. Was it here? Mr. Reis's palm prints are reversed.
Yeah.
Take that!
The fingerprinting results.
What about the fingerprints is unnatural?
Let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints should have looked like this. However, what we found was that they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way, wouldn't you agree?
It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way?
They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. Culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Miss Wright would also pop up to the left of the coffin as per the show's script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crimes. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that, due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Hat was to the right of the coffin. And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. In short, the hole with the blood in it was on the side opposite the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels.
Ooh, and that's how the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around, the prints ended up facing the opposite direction.
Good job, Judge.
But instead of going to all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side?
I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor, because of a little something called luminol testing.
Oh, right, luminol. I almost forgot. Luminol can detect trace amounts of blood even if it's been wiped away, right?
That's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Ratens? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I? You see, Wright could have done the same just as easily. You've no proof it was the witness who tampered with the evidence. Ah, but I do have proof. What? A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Least of all, Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side.
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Why, you impudent. I'm impudent. I'm sure you've realized by now, Prosecutor Sadmati, that your claim that Miss Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up. Feh, you and the accused are most certainly bound for hell. Really? Miss Wright and I? Because I think you're the one with the ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl.
Ah.
Heyo! Ooh.
Double kill. Prosecutor Sadmati, are you alright?
Yeah, I'll be fine. As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go but didn't actually see it, and someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. The only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Ratens.
Grrr. Ari.
All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been canceled. Permanently. Got him. Did we win? Or is it still going?
Grrr.
Is he? I can't tell if he's ready to give up.
All of my secrets have been revealed, you say? Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true, real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mysterious. Witness a magic far greater than Troop Grimari's. Burn. Rumble. Fall into my furious flame. The great Mysterious will bring an end to you all. And now for the final heir to the Grimari name, right here, right now, you too shall Huh? No, this isn't right. No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. What? Stop, no. Curse you, Grimari.
Ourselves is gonna. Oh, I think we won. Okay, so we'll call it an episode if it's gonna keep going. But I think that's gonna do it for him.
Curse those Grimaris. It's all because of them. Even now they wound me. Wound. Curse them to the abyss.
Do you really hate us that much? Does your hatred run that deep? Even enough to kill an innocent man?
You're damn right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnifique Grimari, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. Said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the troupe just because he was worried about his own reputation. As I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. With that Magnifique, he took it all from me.
But that's no excuse. That's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not used as a means for murder.
What's the big deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all.
I get it now. That attitude towards magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician.
Don't deserve. I don't know about that. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? Not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see, so in the end, Troop Grimari was defeated by the great Mysterious. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn. Take that, Grimari, you lose.
Anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on. It's this guy.
This cord and my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation.
I think the judge is,
Bailiff, take Mr. Ratons away and bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe. Maybe double the handcuffs. Looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show.
It was close, but we just barely made it through somehow. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down?
Miss Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer, as I do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, this court finds the defendant, Trucy Wright not guilty.
Got him.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you for everything, Polly. Oh, Trucy, grazie, addio. Now you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned. Yep, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Rios is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like the way she's looking at me. Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything. Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Ratons used us. We're victims too. You even made me an accomplice to murder. But Betty, I have to take some of the blame for this too, you know. If we didn't know what he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him. It's all my fault, isn't it? Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person who used magic to commit murder, Roger Ratons. Know that. Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still hate you. I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? You used to be a huge fan of Trucy's. Hey, shut up! I've always hated her. Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right? Speak for yourself. But Betty, you still have her autograph from that day. Just shut up. Was she acting in that way this whole time because she secretly loves Trucy? Wow, Trucy, I never knew that being the best could be so tough. Come on, Bonnie, we're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show. You're really excited about performing with Trucy again, aren't you? That's not true, so zip it, dummy. Holly, you think I really am a naive greenhorn? Huh? Wait, she's not. Yes, yes, yes. We just saw this like 30 seconds ago. I don't need the flashback. Yep. He's still going. Yep. Not fit to lecture from high. Yep. Naive greenhorn. There it is. Took him quite a while to get to that point. Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Raton said to heart. Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks, and I let myself be taken in by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn. Shouldn't take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you. Huh? You're a wonderful Grimari magician. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you, Apollo, but what makes you say that? I know you're a wonderful Grimari magician because of the... Oh. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. My grandfather's notebook. The Grimari Creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you performed your magic trick in court today, you showed the world your dedication to your troops' creed. Even through all the jeering, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You're everything Magnifique could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Trucy. A great magician? Me? You really are. That's why you don't have to worry about what Rayton said. Oh, Polly, thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I'd been all alone up there. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you. Me? I remembered what you said to me in the detention center. Draw, you're sure you swapped the swords, right? Yes, I remember doing it. And I just know it wasn't your fault. But how can you say that? Any proof it wasn't me? I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but I believe in you, Trucy, and I believe in your skill as a professional magician. I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Your words were what kept me going. Apollo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be. Trucy's real smile is the best. I'm so glad I could help make that happen. Emma. Really sorry, Trucy, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Sudmati what a good person you are. To testify against you, too. You have nothing to apologize for. You're just doing your job. Kind. Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Emma? Oh. Prosecutor Sudmati, what are you doing here? Detective Sky? Uh-oh. Yes. Require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go. Wait, Prosecutor Sudmati. Trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact. Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me? What? Really changed, Nayata. Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you? A lawyer of impure soul, I have nothing to say to the likes of you. Are you serious? This just keeps going. Now, if you'll excuse me. Here he goes. What was that about, Apollo? Do you know Prosecutor Sudmati? Oh, let's just say we're old acquaintances. Acquaintances? It seemed like something more than that. Yeah, well, you don't like to talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject. Guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now, come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future. Sure, if you say so. Hey, it's Mr. Wright. Put him on speakerphone, Apollo. What's up, Mr. Wright? Apollo, how's Trucy? What happened to the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict? Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine. Hi, Daddy. I'm okay now. He was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo. Ooh, that's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold down the fort anytime. But me? Really? Yes, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes. A full-fledged lawyer? Still can't wrap my mind around it. Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything. And thank you, Apollo. No need to go that far, boss. Especially not in front of everyone. Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you? Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Full-fledged. So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right? No. He just asked me to go cheer you on. Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly. Best seat in the house? Really appreciate the thought, but... Good, then it's settled. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where did we end up?
Objection!
I should have known. Yeah, I had a hunch. This is what she meant. Magical girl Trucy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic. Oh, wait a minute. You're kidding, right? There is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die. Now then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword. No, wait, stop. No. And that is how Trucy and Grimariland ended on a rousing high note, with a big round of applause and Polly's ear-splitting screams. What kind of ending is that? We did it! We finished the chapter. Okay. Woo! That was an intense ending. Alright, we'll call an episode there. Hopefully you're all looking forward to the next chapter. I know I am, as always. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.